Imagine this, you've just pulled off the perfect con. £500,000, all yours. You're about to disappear into the sunset when, bam, you get cocky, try one last trick on a passing tourist, and suddenly you're in handcuffs. That's exactly what happens to Charlie Tully, played by the one and only Dick Emery in
Oh, you are awful.
While he's stuck in prison, his partner, Reggie Peake, does the sensible thing, stashes the cash in a Swiss bank account. But before he can share the details, he winds up dead, murdered by the vengeful London crime boss, Sid Sabbath. The only clue? Peake tattooed the account number on the bare backsides of 4 unsuspecting women. And so begins one of the most bizarre treasure hunts in movie history. Armed with a suitcase full of disguises and his quick-witted charm, Tully has to track down each woman, sneak a look at the crucial tattoos, and avoid getting himself killed. What he doesn't realise is that he's not just up against Sabbath's gang. He's being watched by a shadowy group of Italian gangsters who seem to have an interest in keeping him alive. It's part crime caper, part slapstick comedy, and all classic Dick Emery. If you love fast-paced heist films with a ridiculous twist, this one's for you. But was
Oh, you are awful.
a misunderstood gem or just a relic of its time? Stick around and let's find out. At the heart of the film is Charlie Tully, played by Emery in his first and only starring role in a feature film. Now, if you're not familiar with Dick Emery, he was a household name in the UK, best known for The Dick Emery Show, where he played an array of hilarious characters, often in elaborate disguises. And that's exactly what he brings to
Oh, you are awful.
a parade of disguises, each one more ridiculous than the last, as he tries to track down those tattooed women without tipping off the London underworld. Speaking of the underworld, we have Sid Sabbath, a ruthless crime lord played by Darren Nesbitt, a familiar face in British cinema and TV. Sabbath is convinced that Tully is some kind of superhuman assassin because, one by one, his henchmen keep turning up dead every time they try to kill him. What he doesn't realise is that Tully has some unexpected protectors, an Italian crime syndicate secretly watching his back. This little detail adds a brilliant layer of dramatic irony. Tully thinks he's just incredibly lucky, while Sabbath is getting more paranoid by the second. And then there's the absurd but undeniably intriguing setup. Pete, played by Ronald Fraser, gets bumped off before he can pass along the crucial Swiss bank account number, leaving Tully to go on one of the strangest scavenger hunts in movie history. One woman at a time, he has to use all his charm and a good bit of trickery to catch a glimpse of their valuable asset. It's the kind of plot that could only come out of the 70s, borderline farcical, but with enough wit and clever execution to keep you entertained. Now, here's the thing about
Oh, you are awful.
it didn't exactly set the box office on fire. While Dick Emery was beloved on television, the film didn't translate into major cinematic success. It made modest returns, but never quite became the big screen breakthrough his team had hoped for. Critics at the time were mixed. Some enjoyed the film's slapstick humour and Emery's ability to transform into different personas, while others found the plot a bit too silly, even by comedy standards. But here's why the film still holds up today. First, it's a time capsule of early 70s Britain, complete with sharp suits, dodgy criminals, and a world where everything feels just a little bit absurd. Second, Emery's performance is genuinely impressive. His ability to slip into different disguises, accents, and mannerisms is a showcase of his comedic talent. And third, it's just fun. There's something undeniably enjoyable about a con man outwitting both the police and the mob, while going to increasingly ridiculous lengths to complete his mission. And then there's the twist. Just when Charlie Tully thinks he's finally in the clear, he gets grabbed, not by Sid Sabbath's men, but by the Italians who have been secretly watching over him. Turns out they weren't just keeping him alive out of the kindness of their hearts. They want their cut of the money. And if they don't get it, well, let's just say Charlie won't be walking away. Facing some very serious-looking gangsters, Charlie does what he does best. He starts talking. He spins them a story, smooth as ever, about a brand new scheme. Why waste time chasing bank accounts when there's real money to be made? He tells them about an old trick of his, conning wealthy Americans by selling them European landmarks. He's got a whole routine, papers, official-looking documents, the works. He's already sold the Eiffel Tower twice, and with their help, he could sell the Sistine Chapel for a fortune. The Italians listen. They look at each other, and then, against all odds, they laugh. Charlie Tully, the unkillable trickster, has done it again. They let him go on one condition. He runs the scam for them, and they all get rich together. Charlie walks free. He may have lost the £500,000, but he's already thinking about his next con. After all, the world is full of gullible people, and Charlie Tully isn't done just yet. So,
Oh, you are awful.
A forgotten classic? Maybe not quite, but it's a film that deserves more love, especially if you're into vintage British comedy, crime capers, or just want to see a master impressionist at work. It's fun, it's frantic, and if nothing else, it's got one of the most bizarre treasure hunts in film history. If you've seen
Oh, you are awful.
let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't, give it a shot. You might just find yourself laughing at its ridiculous charm. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into forgotten films, cult classics, and the best of British cinema. See you in the next one.
Oh, you are awful.
But I like you.